Mark chapter 6. And he went out and from these and came into his own country, and his disciples followed him. And when the Sabbath day was come, he began to teach in the synagogue, and many hearing him were astonished, saying, From whence hath this man these things, and what wisdom is within this wench given unto him? And the evening might works are mighty, are wrought by his hands. It is not this computer, the son of Mary, the brother of James and Joseph and Judy and Simon, are in his sisters here with us? And they were offered at him. But Jesus said unto him, A prophet is not without honor, but in his own country, and among his own kin, and his own house. And he could there do mighty works, save that he laid his head upon a few forks and healed him. And he martyred because of the unbelief, and he went around about the village teaching. And he called him the 12 and brought to send them forth by two, and gave power over unclean spirit, and to command them that they should take nothing for their journey, save a staff only, no scrip, no bread, no money in their purse. But he stood sandals of his two coats. And he said unto him, In what peace soever ye enter into a house, where abide till he depart from the place. And whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear you when ye depart, then shake off the dust under your feet for a testimony nation from the verify. I say unto you, it shall be more terrible for Sodom and go in the day of judgment than for the city. And they went out and preached the man should repent, and they cast out many devils, and mentioned with oil men they were sick, and healed them. And King Herod heard of him, for his name was spread above, and he said that John the Baptist was risen from the dead, and therefore mighty works do show forth themselves. Others said others say that it is prophet, or as one of the prophets. But when Herod heard, therefore, he said, It is John whom I behead, and he is risen from the dead. For Herod himself had sent forth and laid hold upon John, and bound him in prison. For Herod shake his brother Philip's wife, he said he had married. For John had said unto her, Herod, it is not lawful for thee to have thy brother's wife. Therefore Herod had a quarrel against him, and would have killed him, but she could not. For Herod fulfilled John, knowing that he was a just man and holy, and observe him. And when he heard him, he did many things, and heard him sadly. And when a convenient day was come, that had on his birthday, made a supper to hit the Lord's high captain and chief's estates in Galilee. And when the daughter of the said Herod came in and denied and pleased Herod and them that sat with him, the king said unto them, Demisel, ask of me whosoever thou within, I will give thee. And he sware unto her, Whosoever thou shalt ask of me, I shall give it to thee, unto the half of my kingdom. And she went forth and said unto her mother, What shall I ask? And she said, The head of John the Baptist. And she came and straightway with the haste unto the king, and asked, saying, I will that thou give me the by and by in the charge of the head of John the Baptist. And the king was exceeding sorry, yet for his oath's sake and for their sakes which sat with him, he would not reject her. And immediately the king said and commanded his head to be brought, and he went and beheld him in prison, and brought his head in a charger, and gave it to dismissal, and the dismissal gave it to her mother. And when the disciples heard of it, they came and took up his corpse and laid it in a tomb. And the apostles gathered themselves together into Jesus and told him all things, but what about what they had done and what they had taught. And Jesus said unto them, Come ye there yourselves apart into a desert place, and rest a while. For there were many coming and going, and they had to tell sure so much as to eat. I'm going to stop there. All right. And the apostles gathered themselves together unto Jesus, and told him all things, both what they had done, and what they had taught. And he said unto them, Come ye yourself apart into a desert place, and rest a while. For there were many coming and going, and they had no leisure so much as to eat. And they departed into a desert place by shop privately, and the people saw them departing, and many knew him, and ran afoot therefore out of cities and athwart them, and come together unto him. And Jesus, when he came out, saw much people, was moved in compassion toward them, because they were as sheep not having a shepherd. And he began to teach them many things. And when the day was now far spent, his disciples come unto him and said, This a desert place, and now the time is far past. Send them away, that they may go and when that now has far spent, his disciples come with him. This is the desert place, and now the time has passed. Send them away, they may go unto the country roads about, and into the village, and by themselves herd, for they have nothing to eat. He answered and said unto them, Give ye them to eat. And say unto him, Shall we go and buy 200 pennies worth of bread, and give them to eat? He said unto them, How many loaves have ye? Go and see. And when they knew, they said 5, and 2 fish. And he commanded them to make all sit down in company upon the green grass, and sat down in ranks by hundreds and by 50s. And when he had taken the 5 loaves and 2 fish, he looked up to heaven and blessed and brake the loaves, and gave them to his disciples to set before them, and the 2 fish divided he among them all. And they did all eat and were filled. And they took up 12 baskets full of fragments and fish. And they that did eat of the loaves were about 5,000 men. And straightway he conjured his disciples to get into the ship and go to the other side before Bethsaida, did while he sent away people. And when he had sent them away, he departed into a mountain to pray. And when he even was come to ship, was in the midst of the sea, and he alone on the land. And he saw them toiling in row, for the wine was turned unto them. And about the 4th sea alone land, and saw the toiling around unto them. And about the 4th watch of the night he come unto him, walking upon the sea, and would have passed by him. But when they saw him walking upon the sea, and they supposed it had been a spirit, and cried out, for they all saw him, and trembled. And immediately he talked with him, and saith unto him, Be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. And he went up unto them into the ship, and they were sore amazed in theirselves beyond measure, and what wonders, for they considered not the miracle of loaves, for their hearts were hundreds. And when they had passed over, they came unto the land of Galilee, and drew their to shore. And when they were come out of the ship, straightway they knew him, and ran through the whole region round about, and began to cry about the beds those that were sick, where they heard he was in. Whosoever he entered into the village or city or country, they laid in sick and stretched, and brought him, that they might touch it were, but they border his garment, and as many as touched him made whole.